Okay. So more of the hand washing type of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Is this like just any time? So like this could be like um during this pandemic, like I could use a pandemic as part of that.
Sure.
Okay, because that's what I was kind of going for.
Sure, sure. Yeah, yeah. Be fine. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, those are good ideas. You want to look at your share the screen on your thumbnails?
Yeah, let me fix that.
Elijah, we're just looking at Sarah's draft proposal in outline form, and now we're looking at her social media thumbnails.
Yeah, I was working on that because I had been finishing the first stage stuff, doing the research and stuff. So I'm working on the draft thing right now.
Okay, great. Well, we'll hear what Sarah has to say, and then you can share your information you've got so far, or discuss it, whatever. Okay, I see your thumbnails there. We've got the sink.
Yeah, so it's just kind of a quick little thing. The
Fine.
second one is going to be like a text post, so it'll just have a bunch of words on it and stuff. But the first one is like a graphic.
Okay. So
and
you've got. Go ahead.
Ones.
Say it again.
That's my Instagram post.
With the dripping water and the turn it till it stops?
Yes.
Okay. And then also Instagram, the second one that's all text, the 1 out of 9 people?
Yes, I have another page of the Facebook ones.
Okay. Before we go to that, so the whole dripping water and the sink is very good. I think that's a great idea. And you can say it's a video, you know. Actually, you could make a video.
Yeah.
You have a sink, right? You film it dripping. What if, just to make sure that you're creating some sense of connection, think about what you can take from this video. And you got a bunch of stuff. You got the sink, you got the dripping water, you got the turn it till it stops, you got the arrows turning, around turn it till it stops. How could you take some of those images and include it in your other, even though you say 1.9 people, it's a different message. Something that links these two together.
I could put a water droplet or some water in it.
That's great. Just very picky. I love the turn it till it stops things, but you have the arrows going to turn on. Oh,
I was sitting there trying to figure out which way I would do it because I was figuring that out, and then I guess I just did it wrong in my head.
Well, no. Leftsy, loosey, rightsy, tightsy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you have a turn off. That is correct. No, I was thinking about turn. No, that's right. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, so you just want to make sure we get it the right way. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. You want to show me these are the Instagram ones? Let's look at the Facebook ones.
Yeah. Here's the Facebook ones. And the circles on the first one will be like the countries, but I don't know how to draw the countries, so I just put circles instead of them and wrote the little thing idea of what it will be under it. So.
Okay, and I'm still looking. I can only see the Instagram one still.
Let me have to
stop sharing those and then go to the Facebook ones.
Well, my only option is to share photos, so let me just out of that one, and maybe it'll share this one.
Okay.
Tell me if you can see that now.
Nope, still the Instagram ones. Yeah, sometimes you have to unshare and do it again.
Okay, tell me if that one worked.
Oh yeah, there we go. So say what you were saying again.
The circles on the first one is just to represent the countries that I would put like behind it or whatever.
Okay. Okay. And then there's the socks.
Yes.
Okay. So they have a certain design on their sock already, I take it?
Yeah, it's like a plaid kind of look with a little water drop in the middle of it.
Okay, so you're just going to use that, right? You're not redoing that.
No, I'm not redoing it.
Yeah. Okay. So you got the big picture. Okay. Just response wise, one of the things that you can do on the Facebook, I think, I'm trying to think if somehow you could have them click on the country and your response could be country specific. Let's say you have you have three drops up there. It could be three different countries. They click on, Venezuela, and then your response to them could be in Venezuela, blah, so many people don't have water, that type of thing.
Yeah,
So something. Okay, great.
It says for like the next due thing, it's the guerrilla marketing rough. Am I just drawing like a design for that?
Yep.
Okay, so nothing's still digital yet.
Well, except we're trying to do, I think by this Sunday, the digital mock-ups of the Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
So yeah, that's digital.
Okay, and just the guerrilla marketing isn't. Okay.
Right, and then the guerrilla marketing is still a thumbnail. Yep. Okay, unshare your thing. Yeah, and I'll go over that. Let's just hear from Elijah, and then we can talk about. I'll talk about the project in general, the next deadlines and stuff.
Okay.
And I want to show y'all. I have something to show y'all. I have a template that I pulled down for the final, which is not due till 2 weeks. Elijah, what do you? Where? Now you sort of were saying where you are in the process. Say that again.
So I was just getting started on the on doing the draft proposal. Like I was looking at the video while I was trying to get Microsoft Teams to load.
Okay.
That's why I joined a little bit late, because Microsoft Teams just wouldn't open for some reason. But yeah, I am in the. So I had done my I selected my thing and I did the SWOT analysis. I finished that earlier.
Okay.
I got the Wildlife Conservation Society.
Okay.
So their purpose is obviously helping to conserve wildlife. It's sort of like the World Wildlife Fund, but they're also doing they also help the environment. So like they're trying to spread awareness on climate change and human impact on animals and the environment.
Okay.
And that was what I was doing.
So it's animals plus the environment, not just animals. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got some research. You have the SWOT. Be sure on the SWOT that you draw some conclusions.
Yeah, I have
go forward.
Yeah, I have what I put for my conclusion is they need to focus on promoting the science and hard proof of things like climate change and how humans have impacted animals. And it's something I was researching, I've seen around the place, is that since the COVID stuff happened, a lot of the world has started to slowly recover, because there's been a lot less people out and about, messing up things. So a lot of animals are starting to show up again. And I was saying that should be something that should be highlighted. And expose threats about how poachers or fossil fuel industries or corrupt governments hurt animals and the environment. That's something I've always done a lot of stuff on conservation. I've always followed that, so I thought it would be a really good topic to work on, because I know I've already been in that area before.
Okay. Well, already those conclusions could lead you down some pretty good paths. So you have the whole effect of the virus, on bringing animals out. I've experienced that myself. I grew up in Florida, and I maintain I grew up underwater, out in the Gulf of Mexico, and I had never seen a loggerhead turtle. And I went down there this summer, and I saw 3 of them in one day, out in the ocean and on the beach, and they're bigger than you think. So that's because there's less people out, less ships, so less boats. This was in broad daylight too, so I was impressed. Also, you got the whole corrupt government thing. And what was the other thing besides corrupt government? Just
there was poachers and fossil fuel industries.
Okay. Well, that's 3 different things. So you might have to. You could list. Obviously, that's great to draw that conclusion. You might pick one of those. So you're trying to do 2 social media platforms. It can be the same message or different messages. So you really don't want to do 5 different posts. and you're trying to do 2 posts each per platform. So I don't know, you could do 2 out of the 3 of those. So you can narrow a little bit. I don't know that you can do all of those. Okay, great. So have you thought a little bit about a guerrilla marketing idea for?
So I was doing the research on the guerrilla marketing and how it's just like so I was showing maybe like one of them ideas was to show maybe a picture of like a bunch of animals that have come out because of the virus and said this is what happens when we don't mess up the environment. Maybe we should do this a little bit more, like a billboard.
A billboard, okay. Really, usually guerrilla marketing is not a billboard. Usually, and you can think about it, this would be a guerrilla marketing campaign that would be in Salisbury. So usually it's in person. It's a physical thing, either on the sidewalk. It can be a billboard, but it's usually a non-traditional billboard. So, for example, thinking about your, fossil fuel idea and being too much of it. No, or did you? Were you mentioning that?
Yeah, I did. That was one of the things I mentioned.
So you could have an ad, I'm just making this up. You could have a billboard for Exxon, but then you could have a lion clawing it, So it's, and say, then have a secondary message saying, we need less oil to let our lions run around. I'm just making stuff up.
We have to slash our oil usage.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. So it's something that would be local, not something that you would do in a lot of billboards. Probably it would be something that's very unusual and a little less, less normal. So it can't be just a billboard. It's got to be a billboard with something unusual to it, outside the normal. Okay, yeah, and I mean the easiest, the most local type of guerrilla marketing is, sandblasting the sidewalk with your logo or something. Okay. Okay, great. Let me go over the project a little bit. Oh, Elijah, any other questions about what you about the project where you are now, just where you are, and then I'm going to talk about the whole project, what we're doing next.
I think I've got a pretty good grasp on it. Oh, the one thing I was going to ask though, so on the draft analysis, when it's saying research data, is that just the stuff I researched in the first part and just put that back again?
Yep.
Sure. All right.
And that is an outline form. So I don't know if you saw Sarah's, the draft proposal is just getting the information in an outline form. It's not looking good at all yet.
Okay.
Okay. So obviously you do your research, you're doing a draft proposal. Just want to go over everything. In the draft proposal, you want to outline what you're doing on the social media platforms, what you're doing on guerrilla marketing. Think about the timeline, like Sarah was saying, weekly. It could be just a month. You're doing 4 posts in a month. It could be more specific than that. And again, you have got your brand guide from your nonprofit that you're not creating, you're just using. And you want to use, obviously, stuff from that. You want to use their logo, use their colors, that type of thing. Don't make it up. Use their brand guide. So then the next step is first, and then do some thumbnails of the social media on the phone, either Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media you pick, and you can pick obscure ones too. There's some obscure social media or less worldwide appeal. There's 75 social media platforms I listed in the class content. I forget where those are. Some are very obscure I'd never heard of. Some I had. So you want to pick the platform to go after your audience from your research. So then in the mock-up stage, which is due this Sunday, we're trying to get your ideas for social media onto a platform, Illustrator, InDesign, whatever you want, and show the actual on the computer. And you have a choice of what you want to do. Show an example of the image, get the right colors, get some text in there from the individual organization, from the nonprofit. So you're doing a mock-up of what it's going to look like. And then thumbnails of what your guerrilla marketing campaign is going to look like. So that's the next step. So that's due this Sunday. So you're going to have a draft proposal. Then you're going to have some thumbnails of both the guerrilla marketing and the social media, and then a mock-up of the 2 social media platforms. I have to say the iPhone template in Illustrator is pretty good. It's the shape of the iPhone. You can show pretty good mock-ups on that, but you can do it however you want. The templates in Illustrator are pretty good. I think they even have a Facebook. They have a standard Facebook page. They have an iPhone. So you can look at that and do that. So the next step, and what I want to show you is when you do the actual proposal, I want you to get a template. And that is a template from, I listed 75 of them. It's a little excessive, but I just picked one. And most of them, if you were a professional designer, you would pick one of these and pay for it. Obviously, don't do that. But almost all the ones I clicked on from that whole list, you can get a free download. So I just downloaded Better Proposals. So I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully, I have a weird box in the middle of my screen. And I'm just going to show you their template. And this is what you're going to take your draft and take your mock-ups and put in for the final. Okay? And obviously, you can modify it. Let me share my screen here. Okay, so this is from betterproposals.com. I just downloaded it. Obviously, you can upload your logo of your organization here that you picked, water.org or whatever the organization is. So this is the template. And in this 14-day trial, I would upload all this stuff. So this is a template. There were multiple templates, and I'll show you the big templates list in a minute. This was a social media campaign template. So you're going to have to pick. Is your thing more of a social media, which is what this project is? There was also a branding template. There was a logo design template, that type of stuff. So here's your introduction. So obviously, this is none of the words that you want to put in there. Okay? You're going to put completely different stuff in there. You're going to put your own picture. You're going to say, not about golf. You're going to say, 20 and 30-year-olds are concerned about animals and the environment. This organization is Elijah, is it World Wildlife Fund?
No, it's the Wildlife Conservation Society.
Wildlife Conservation Society. Then you say, I think that, Wildlife Conservation Society, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here's your channels that you're going to use. They have 3. You're going to list 2. So you're going to take this generic wording, okay, and you're going to add your own words. But this is a great template for what you're going to do. Obviously, we're trying to boost your social media, blah, blah, blah. Then here's getting noticed. Then you're going to start to outline more specifics. And you can modify these, whatever template you do. All these pictures you can change. In this case, here you are talking about this. In this case, you're talking about the different in this template. They're talking about the different platforms, growing your audience, blah, 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 all these pictures. So you guys are going to have to find different pictures. Don't use their junky pictures. Use pictures from, your organization. Okay. Here's the checklist, which, again, is showing the calendar, which is part of the things you got to show. Then here's the process. You're going to show exactly what you're going to do for the social media campaign. Okay. Again, they have all this stuff. You're making up the steps. They're just showing that, again, content calendar required. Okay. All this stuff. Okay, here's the problem. Here's a case study showing what you're going to do, blah, blah, blah. Then here we go. Here's what's going to cost them. Okay. Here's the cost. These are showing, here's the Facebook management. Here's the Instagram posts. They did a Skype call. This could be your thing. This is your guerrilla marketing, what it's going to cost. Guarantee you can leave this in or take it out. Then here's getting started, blah, 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 the next steps and the terms and conditions. Okay. So that's just this template. Okay. But I want you to use a template. Here's one. So here's a social media template. Let me unshare this. Hope I'm picking the next one. Nope, that's the same one, sorry. Didn't do that well. So here is the example of their template at Better Proposals, their branding template. So again, is this the right template to use? I think it's okay because it's branding, and you can say, okay, look, this particular brand, their brand strategy is to use more social media. Here's talking about the different strategies. So you guys are coming up with your own strategy. You've decided, like let's say Sarah has decided she's going to use Facebook and Instagram. Then you say why. You know, you're saying, okay, we're going to do things differently. We're doing Instagram instead of tweets, that type of stuff. Then here's the strategy. So a little different template, but then all this stuff down here, you're adding your own text down here. Here's the plan, which is the calendar. Timeline, here's the number of days. That's why you don't, Sarah, like for example, you don't want to just say weekly. You want to say, I'd say what you're going to do in the first 4 weeks or something like that. Give it a little bit more detail than just weekly because you don't want to go on forever. Give yourself an end date. Okay. Then here's an example case study of what you're going to do. Here's the invoice. So this is what you're going to charge them. You're not going to use the invoice that you did at the beginning of class, but you're still going to send them the bill. Guarantee, next steps. Okay. Let me stop sharing this. One more thing. So here's the Better Proposals site. And so here, I just downloaded it. Wait a minute. What happened? Let me go back. Aha, here we go. So here is an example of several, and obviously they have 6 pages of different proposals, and this is betterproposal.com. A lot of these don't apply to you. They're just, not going to. But the rebrand would. Freelance design, look at that one. So I just showed you guys the rebrand one. Freelance design, I didn't look at. We could look at that and see what that looks like. And then I just went down to, I looked at page 2 already. Let's look at page 6 just to see what the heck they have on there. Web page elevation, web page design, WordPress, here's all web design, video production. So they have all kinds of templates. Statement of work, that type of stuff. So different things. So you have to pick the template. I look at several different ones. Then you download it for free, get this template. Now I'll come back here. So then you pick a proposal format or website. I just went to betterproposals.com. You must use a template. You can modify the template, add pages, add steps, but I really want you to practice using some, a template that you're not designing. You're adding this stuff to it, but the things that have to go on there, things that have to be in the proposal. So you've got to describe the problem. So again, you're making this up. That would be describing the problem, same thing as the strategy, okay? Or what their problem is. They need to get out there, increase their exposure. Include your research. You've done some research, include the research, say this is the reason we're picking this strategy is this. Then you give them the solution. You're picking 2 platforms. These are the platforms why. This is the guerrilla marketing campaign why. Then you show them the mock-ups, and then you tell them the cost and summation. So it's taking the stuff in the draft and making it look better in the proposal format. I didn't. We definitely have to have the next steps and calendar. I'll add that. So you got to have the calendar. I left that off. The timeline and calendar definitely got to be on there as well. Okay. Questions? What questions you guys have on the final? I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit. That's not due this Sunday, but the following Sunday. So we have a whole nother week after this week to work on that. But I just want to get you guys to think ahead, and so that you can, look at different proposals. You have to be somewhat cognizant in that the free proposal is usually 2 weeks. So I wouldn't download it until next week. And then you got to be sure you save it so you can post it up and save it to your computer and post it onto the class Blackboard. Questions? Is that making sense?
Yeah, I think so. I'm glad you walked through it. That would help a lot since I missed stuff.
Oh, that's okay. So have you guys ever been required to use a template proposal like that in another project in past classes?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. The reason why I want you to do this is so when you're out on your own doing, let's say you have your own design firm or you're working for a design firm or a marketing firm, they're going to have a template. So they've already either paid for a template service to do their proposals, or they have developed their own template. And then every time you do a client presentation, you're not starting from scratch generally to do the template. You are solving their problem, and you're not trying to solve your own internal problem of what does our template look like. So that is one of the reasons to use a template is in your first jobs, you're not going to be making up the template generally, unless you work for yourself. You're going to be using a template, either you use making up your, down business, or the business will have a template. So that's the reasoning behind that. Okay. So this Sunday, which is the 18th, right? Yeah. The 18th, we're just trying to get the mock-ups, which we will talk on Monday, of what your social media platform is going to look like, the 2 platforms posts, and what your guerrilla marketing campaign is going to look like. And that'll be a thumbnail. Although you can get for example, let's say you're going to do the billboard, Elijah, get a billboard, stick an image on there, and drag, cut the big claw marks out of it. There you go. That's the mock-up.
All right.
Yep. Okay. Questions? Questions?
So both of the social media posts are going to be digital, and only the guerrilla marketing is going to be thumbnails.
For this Sunday, correct.
Okay, gotcha.
And then we're still going to look at them. So these are just roughs. And then the final's not due till the following Sunday. So just try to get as much stuff up on your mock-up or your rough as you can. Get the right colors, get the photos, your images you're going to use. So again, they are still roughs. Generally get an idea of your text. Yeah. Okay. Well, great. Good talking to y'all. I will stay on here for 15 more minutes unless just see if someone else comes on, but that's all for if you guys are clear on what we're doing, go ahead and get started.
I have a question about my grades.
Okay, sure.
On the step 3 research, you gave me a 30 out of 50, and I was wondering if that was because I didn't do the SWOT.
Let's look. I think so. And that's what
I didn't know if that would be fixed after I did the SWOT for this time, or if that was a final grade.
That is not a final grade. Yeah, one of the things that I do is that I I am very, I like to get the project done well. And so I'm always glad to let people, fix stuff and resubmit.
Yeah.
So yes, that is not the final grade. Yeah, now do the SWOT. So if you just want to upload, like you've got your draft proposal, just, you could upload it here as a second attempt also. And then I should see, is there a place for submitting the draft proposal?
Yeah.
Yes. Draft proposal, there we go. So I will see that, correct. Yes. So no, that's not a final grade.
All right. My mom was worried about it, so she wanted me to ask.
Now, and I have to say, looking at one of the things to talk about the grade in this class, I have to say, let me look all the way back. Oh, y'all's grade book is working correct. It's showing your grade as a percentage of 100. The other class I'm working on somehow that is not working. So yes, that is the grade is correct.
Okay.
Good question. But I will send me something, either put it in that or remind me when you turn in the draft proposal, and I will fix that.
I've already turned in the draft proposal, so
Oh, great. Okay. Fabulous.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Elijah, any questions for you?
I would just wanted to tell you that I got in everything for the previous project.